looking at this agent select for the first map corrode. Let's see.
We still get the Phoenix. I low-key thought we might see a change. I don't know if that was a great thing to hope for, but yeah.
I mean, there is changes, if I am not mistaken, on the side of Team Liquid, right? Because am I crazy here? Yeah, Nats, if he locks in that Cypher, he was playing the Astra. They were going for the double controller. Turbo is now moved from the KO onto the Fade. So almost everything is different. Camo now, as we're saying, doubling down on that double duelist, moved from the Sova on to the Yoru. In fact, the only one staying where he was, well, is Miniboo and Wayne, right? On those two agents that I would like to mention.
Miniboo and Wayne. And I think previously as well, they were playing that double initiator on this map. So now opting into that double duelist, they've obviously seen a lot of teams be able to have success with it. And again, we're talking about this identity of Team Liquid. Camo on that Yoru seems to be a mainstay at the moment. I'm intrigued to see how him and Miniboo get on. We're talking about Miniboo on self-sufficient agents such as the Waylay, such as the Neon. I think this is really great for him here. I think when you're looking at Team Vitality side, one of the things that we've seen Derka excel in is that operator usage across some maps. I don't think he's going to be able to get away with that on the Phoenix. If he does, give us a surprise. Obviously, we're expecting Chronicle to potentially be picking that up a bit more with being on this chamber. So yeah, I really do enjoy the Phoenix pick on this map. Call me crazy, Ginny.
I think the team...
I would never. I would never. Just live it.
On you go,
there you go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that for Team Liquid, I really want to get on to the coaches and ask if this was like specifically for Team Vitality, or is it more like our composition wasn't working, we have decided our new route and the way that we're going to be playing. Again, for Team Liquid, you never know where Nats is going to be, and for Vitality, I do agree. One of the reasons that I wanted to show those clips from Abyss is like, Chronicle, if you want to play Chamber, just play Chamber. Don't play Veto, just play Chamber. Like, you can still make it work. So eyes on him for today.
Yeah, but also from the side of Liquid, we've seen them change compositions over the last couple of days because they are very comfortable. Kings of the lower bracket, if I dare call them, going up against Vitality, who just got knocked into it yesterday. Can they do it? We'll find out as we're heading into the first map of this best of 3 with our casters, Mitch and Tom.
All Liquid on a run, but Vitality, they're coming down from that middle bracket. They're looking decently strong, but that last matchup felt like the ball was dropped, Tom.
Well, yeah, they've both been battered by Fnatic, so I guess
they
are in a very
yeah,
similar boat, so it's not too much of a problem. I do get scared, though, seeing any team facing Liquid at this stage. Think back to last year. First loss, immediately Liquid into that lower bracket. They had to win 5 games in a row in order to make it to the first international of the year. This year, they fell fairly early. Fell again, because we do have now even a lower bracket, but they had to win 5 games in a row in order to make it to an international. And they are well on their way. On the other side of things, Vitality, yeah, you go back to 2025, they made the international straight through the upper bracket. So sure, it's a different roster, it's a different look, but these are 2 very different teams when they hit the lower bracket, and I want to see if Vitality have what it takes.
Oh, there's already a bit of an engagement brewing, and it's Camo that falls right away. But so much presence towards this B site. He was the lamb to the slaughter, but it's all a ruse. The re-aggression does not work, though. Team Liquid find one, but Derka keeps claiming heads, and Nats, the last man standing miles away. That's a convincing pistol by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's also
even an orb, too.
I was about to say, it's a nightmare in terms of the early game, because the one man you really don't want to be giving a hell of a lot of kills, orbs, a plant over to in round 1 is the guy that could potentially have his ult in round 2.
They've spotted him too. They know where Nats is, they've tagged him, and now Derka's the one sent out to find him. We could have a round 2 ult online from barrier up. And whether he gets the kill or not, it would be. All he has to do is find Nats.
The one thing I will say is I almost don't want him to get it, because the likelihood of using the ult in the next round is almost 0. Maybe give the orb over to someone else, but hey, I don't think that's
a good safety net, though.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing to have in your back pocket, and for Vitality, that is one hell of a start. And I think this is a man, and there's many sort of like very high characters in this matchup, but we've seen Derka throughout the stage so far. When he's on a high, when he's in form, he has truly been unbeatable.
Oh. We go into the second round, it should be an easy second on the board for Vitality. And you know, for both of these leaders, you look at Yumpy and Nats, they both know what it's like, what it means to reach that international stage. Although I suppose for Yumpy, it's been so long now, he might be starting to forget. Good way to jog your memory. Get yourself right back onto that stage. But for Nats, the recency bias, it's hard to imagine an international without them there. But with the performance at kickoff, they do have a lot of ground to make up if we think they're going to really do that damage to the international teams.
Well, yeah, and they still find themselves another game away, even if they win this one. The final awaits the lower final that will be facing off against the defeated today, the Fnatic, which, if that happened, you'd have both teams in a grudge match, whoever makes it through, or mates who will have then taken 2 defeats back-to-back. But I'll be honest, I don't want that to happen to anybody. That would be a nasty way to go. For now, though, expectations in this round are nil points for the side of Liquid. They have invested nothing into this. Okay, there's a piece of utility or two, but they'll be very happy to save those over to the next round. And you can see for Profik, he's just looking for the stack, and he has found it. So he'll help his teammates by dying.
Mission accomplished, yeah. The 3 rifles still up and on their way towards A. Purpo, tucked in the corner, could have a chance, but they would have to drop the ball and not clearing out that position. Passive plant on site, not taking the control till everyone's ready to swing. Now they look to main. That's all cleared out, and there's a trip cover in their back. They have to tick the boxes towards this corner. The only spot that they've decided not to clear, that they've assumed is empty, is exactly where Purpo stands. He's good for 1, but that is where it ends. An advantage for Team Liquid, but the weapons, they stand no chance in heads-up duels. The time not on their side. They need to force a favorable fight, and that is not easy to do from Liquid's position. Damage already done, though. Dropping another rifle here would be a successful round. It's denied, but still, 1 rifle loss for Vitality.
Yeah, it's more costly than they would have liked, especially when walking into an almost empty site, or a site that they even believe to be empty. Now this is where game should get that a little bit more interesting. A lot of matchups I feel are going to be so exciting. Like seeing Nats go back over to the Cypher, for me, is always an instant win. Like we know that this is where this guy is comfortable, and then the Sentinel on the other side being Chronicle, that's always going to be a match made in heaven.
Oh, here we go. The buy up for Team Liquid.
Let me pick it up.
Put their line in the sand. We saw the pistol round idea. It was 4 players grouped up on B. A little bit of aggression. Let's see what Vitality do with this.
Maybe that's it. Top box and be careful.
Wait, Bartosz, go drone mid now. And then we execute.
You can smoke. One second. One shot.
Here.
Fade.
Let's go. 3,
No one mid.
2,
She's not picking anymore.
It's full clear.
I smoke, I think.
Over! You're dead!
let's go Alpha, go Alpha.
I'm going with you on Alpha, boys.
Cypher on side.
I'm checking link.
Close right, Terka.
That's right.
Keep it out, keep it out.
Okay, Cypher there.
4v3.
Okay, guys.
Come
Can we do
link.
sauna on site?
Cypher here.
Wait, I will take gun. I will take gun.
Boys.
I will take gun.
Oh, here we go. 50 seconds left, and we get back in with a 4 versus 4. Vitality trying to surround this A site, put the pressure on the defenders, holding for that rotate back through mid as well. We can see Durka playing this patiently, and the Spike still not trying to push onto that site. Liquid might start trying to color in those missing spaces, and that runs right into Durka's hands. Now the advantage, they can press on with another falling. Individual fights going their way, and now they can group. Wayne at least isolates the first, but no chance in that battle. What a flash. Vitality push up to 3.
A wonderful round to win. Coming off the back of losing a rifle, it's always going to be painful going into that bonus round, but they made it look relatively easy in the end. An opportunity at the start from Camo, but the fact is that from then onwards, it pretty much slipped away. Profik able to turn the tide, and Durka is just absolutely frying. And obviously, we have context in the series. This is, of course, Vitality's... Yeah. Bit of a rough one. This is, of course, the map choice of Vitality, but they have been incredibly strong on their defensive side, and Liquid have been very weak on their attack. So this first half is kind of where you need to see Liquid step up if they're going to have a chance in this map.
Yeah, and you can see really why the coaching staff is so upset to see that previous round slip away the way it did, especially with so many individual fights in the mix. This defensive start doesn't get that strong start, it could definitely have those alarm bells ringing. I like this idea. They find the pick towards B, not knowing it's a stack, of course, but by this point, you'd assume rotates would come through or further contact would come into play. Nothing. And so Vitality now go into what, from their perspective, should be, with the early pick, with the utility, it should kind of drag players towards that B side. It should be easier to walk into A, but Liquid, They've stayed put.
They've seen Purpo. Dirk already close. I like the TP almost just used for bait, and it gives opportunities. And well, even though Purpo was known, he has been able to find a quick double. Obviously, they know that Nats was on the other side of the map, so chance for Vitality is that, okay, there's maybe one player here, maybe one player is still on the other side, so we're going to have an advantageous battle nonetheless, but with Purpo hitting every shot in front of him so far, he's given another chance, but again, Profek ends up being the safe pair of hands.
It's a shame there. Nats, we swapped to his POV. He was shaking back and forth in the spawn, not sure if it was going to be commitment or a rotate. Then I see Purpo's got a reveal online. And a dog the whole time. One of those sent out will get the rotate from Nats and at least allow you to play together, but a dropped piece of utility that has left Nats in the clutch that, well, he doesn't look too healthy or happy in. 4-0 start for Vitality. That was Pistols with a great opportunity, but this rifle round really where they have to fight back.
Yeah, it's decent damage, but it's done in a way that's hard to recreate. Like, you've got Camo basically just selling himself down the river and then some Sheriff shots being connected by a stacked up site. Like, you're not going to do that in your actual rounds. Like, maybe every once in a while, if things are going really bad, you'll take that level of risk, but you'd need the info very early to have that many players there. It would have been nice to capitalize, but the one saving grace is it's done some damage. Fact is, though, clearly, Liquid already feeling the burn. And as I said, like, I want to go back to how they performed on the attack. Just in their last matchup versus Fnatic, they managed 0 rounds on the attack side out of a possible 6. And the time before, they went 4-8. So both times they've really struggled. They had an okay defensive half. Not amazing, but much better. If it goes like this, let's look to bind.
It's very early doors at 4-0. Where do you draw? Is it the next round? Is it that, like, what scoreline here is too strong of a start for Vitality?
I feel like at this point, I almost want to see the 6-6. Like, wow. I think realistically coming in, I would have liked to see them win the half, but I feel from this point onwards, that's going to be a little bit difficult to do. Like, I look at the fact that Yumpy's got an ultimate online. A lot of them are already close, and the way Dirk is playing, he'll probably have his this round. It's kind of just, it's a very scary territory. And also, they have a very steamrolly comp. Like, when you run a Yoru alongside the Phoenix, if you start rolling, those ults just start grabbing you more and more rounds as you go along, because then you get Hunter's Fury in the mix, then you get a Tour de Force, and in case you didn't already see, Chronicle already has an operator, doesn't need a free one.
Exactly. But he might have it fairly soon. For Team Liquid, this defense, a big round, sees aggression from Miniboo posted with the op. Will he go a little bit further? Will he push the envelope and give Chronicle the opportunity? Who will make that mistake first? Because that is what it comes down to. But the shot doesn't land. And now Chronicle knows what waits on the other side. Well, yeah, I mean, he's not going to take that refract.
I'm guessing
0% chance.
Did he assume he already put it down?
I guess so.
Because otherwise, I want to go back to where I die. Like that, I don't think that was the plan. Yeah, just push the button reactionary, and that's a piece of utility gone. Dimensional Drift sent in, and well, it is at least information. Now they walk into Nat's domain. This is the scarier sight.
Yeah, kill trip's not as effective as they were in the past, but they're playing behind them towards the spawn. Durka, not quite close enough to hear that.
Good,
there we go.
He
steps in and breaks it. Now, poor old Team Liquid. They don't have their utility to contain anymore. Got to commit those players to the angles, and time is ticking away. Purpo as well. I mean, breaking back into the site with an Odin is tough when you've got 2 players in this connector space. That's a really rough fight to try and take. Good stun as they break out. That op was completely negated. Damage done onto Nats as well on the fall down. And Purpo still being watched. Great play from Vitality across the board. And even after a pick, Wayne's got a 1v3 with barely any time on his hands. And his best chance is to save that op.
Yeah, I love how they waited on everything ready for them to try and make their move. Like the Hunter's Fury pop, the second's like, okay, they're going to try and swarm us. They're going to try and flood their way back in together. And so what we're going to do, Hunter's Fury immediately. It just disrupts everything that they're attempting.
I almost wish we had a listen in for that moment, because I feel like Vitality put the pieces together because of the Cypher utility, because of a lack of engagement. They immediately acknowledge this is a heavy retake. And I'd love to see those pieces slotting into place, but we've seen the result of it. As Team Liquid now come into round number 6, winless, 0-5, and their economy's in the bin. The op saved over will go to Miniboo, Sheriffs, and look, we've already seen the potential of rounds like this. It's nowhere for Vitality to lose focus, but they've got safety nets, especially that run it back early on, and Liquid are going to try to get it aggressive.
Okay.
That's how you need to play it. Take the one weapon you have and force a fight. Well done.
Yeah, this is what I think Miniboo has been able to do with this way, like quite often, is just get up and get those openers, give the advantage over to Liquid, and then hopefully they can get something out of it. Also, a complete reposition to the other side of the map. His spot will no longer be known. A good start. But you do have to look at the weaponry, and there's still a lot of disadvantages,
sure.
even with the ults.
But the one thing they can't do on the way into a site is sort of divvy up these players the way they want to. You've lost your Astra, you've lost your Cosmic Divide. Now you got to take more fights, and that's exactly what Liquid want. Ready in mid for this battle, and oh, Durka gets away with 1 and 2 in the ult. That could have been the round, but my God, it's messy.
Did you see what Yummy just did?
Yeah. Caught a glimpse in the end. Miniboo, last man op in hand. Sure, he'll get one more. Oh, wait, another. Oh, another. The right click gets in there in the end. This is now looking doable, but unfakes the extra layer to that 6-0 for Vitality. Hey, you can't say it didn't get close in the end.
The Yumpy panic, throw a flash at the floor, and then spin round 180 and kill him is a silly, goofy kill, is all I'll say. And Miniboo does his best. This is just unfortunate. The fact that he gets 2 out of the ult, and then just... it's pure panic. He also he full blinded Chronicle at the same time. That might be one of the weirdest ways I've ever seen anyone get killed. I didn't even realize that Chronicle was just like, bro, I could have just killed him. Why?
That's the thing. Like, Liquid had the perfect set. They tried the same thing, not a panic one, but Camo having the flash lined up to bounce off the wall, off the floor. But the fact that Durka gets so much dismantled the trap that they had sprung, or had prepared to spring. How does Chronicle get away with that? Luckily, the trade out is there still. Miniboo taking out Durka, and now Yumpy. Okay, advantage to Liquid. We could be seeing the beginnings of their first round win.
Yeah, Miniboo has been putting in a shift over the last couple of rounds, like making rounds that looked damning winnable. Purpo in a bit of an off angle, has managed to find himself one, but eventually traded out. Timing for Nats is good, but it's a little messy. The thing is, though, with Profex so low, this has to be their first round.
Surely, yeah. I mean, the spray from Purpo was enough. He did so much damage to Profec, and now, yeah, I mean, down goes Unfake, leaving that 17 HP. Is the only health bar standing for Vitality, but not for long. 6-1, finally on the board, our Team Liquid. And the 6-6 half you asked for, Tom, it's still possible. But this is going to have to be one hell of a performance.
Yeah, there's just moments, even in the rounds that they're winning, where you just go like they put a Prowler through, it doesn't check that corner, but also they just were completely unaware that someone could have just walked up mid. It's like these are... You're bailed out by the fact that Miniboo is just playing well. Like, he is rotated into the right position, taken the right fight. He's not taken any risks, other than the one round where he tried to fall back without putting the utility out. Yeah, but this time he fixed that. But you can't bank on that every single round. Unless he is really just going to pop off, which, you know, in their last game, where he played versus Big Bro, he did do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no reason to believe there's a drop-off on the way. Vitality have spread the net here. A default, but then sent Chronicle to look for the duel. He is being shut down from here. Nothing else from Liquid needs to be played, really. They don't need to get aggressive in mid like they were thinking about. Even the jump spots can be put back. Miniboo sits here with an op, holds the angle for the rest of the round, and if he gets smoked off, if he gets denied the fight, all right, you've still got the advantage. If he doesn't, well, then there's an opportunity for this to get a whole lot worse for Vitality. They've decided to abandon mid. As we can see, that's a good call. But I saw the stars go down, and Miniboo's already adjusted so he can see above them. They're going into B, and Liquid are not panicking.
You are divided!
Oh, Camo in position. A cheeky off angle, but getting out of here might be difficult. He does have ult online. He could just escape that way, but he's happy to just tank all the util. Expecting the backup to do the work and maybe not wanting to expend it in a round where You already have such a hefty advantage, 20 seconds. If Vitality are going to move, it has to be now, and I think this might just be a save.
You have to save. I mean, especially with that player in the corner, you've already used up your molly, you've already used up your shock darts. What are you going to do to get him out of there? And they didn't have anything. Even the Astra stun was put through. So for Liquid, again, you have to look at Miniboo. And the control that he has, this might not be another 4K round, it's not a massive performance, but he holds that control in mid, stars go down, instantly fills in the gap, holds that deep control, and from there, it feels like the pieces are put together because Camo doesn't feel any need, any pressure to rotate from that corner.
This is an early pause from Vitality. On a map that I think they said they'll be very comfortable going in. Maybe it's something that's been said, or it could just be the aspect of we want to make sure this is a dominant half. Let's not let them back in.
Well, I think that's it. They had the solution. They had the pieces to the puzzle in the last 2 rounds. It has felt like Liquid have been able to pull it out of the bag with some really nice aggression from Miniboo that isn't being denied in the one before. And in this one, they were out-infoed. A player in a corner ends up being able to sit there for the entire round and finds the impact. Especially with a gate crash in play, they're always going to be more comfortable with playing those corners late. And so that's something that Vitality need to take a moment to sit back because there's going to be more in the playbook for Team Liquid. Well, there's no point letting them back into the half.
Also for, well, I guess you could include Power, Yumpy, and Profek. This matchup's going to be personal. Like, you look back to every time they were close to making it to an international event last year with BBL, it was Liquid that sent them out. Like, be it in the initial upper bracket games or be it in some of the lower bracket ones, Liquid made every international. And a lot of the time, BBL were the maybe team. They were the team that, they were so close. Like, they had a great year, but they almost made it. Well, being a maybe team when you're on Vitality is not good enough. You need to be making it to those events. And okay, with Kickoff, we give them a little bit of wiggle room because they are playing with a stand-in, but expectations still incredibly high. And I think for the coaches on the Vitality side, it's like, okay, we've already spotted some stuff we don't like. We're far enough in the lead. Let's make sure this is a 10-2 half and not that 6-6 that we were talking about.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times we see pauses when it's already panic stations, and here, just being that bit more proactive.
Yeah.
For Vitality, let's see if that translates to a couple of rounds on the board. At least a lead at the halftime. They only need 1 to secure that. Liquid, for me, my eyes are on Miniboo and how this op is going to be played. Again, that deep control, so important. But this time it will be Camo that's sent to find it in middle. Again, tucked in a corner. He had a lot of success. I mean, single-handedly almost won them the round in the previous by doing the same thing. Let's see if Vitality have wisened up to this kind of play.
The switch to put him on a secondary duelist, I think, will largely be down to how well he performed versus the Heretics. He was an absolute standout in that game, and they're going to need that version of Camo once again. A good thing that he's woken up in the last round, but they will need quite a bit more. 45 seconds already gone.
Oh, I thought really important, but I might be wrong. I thought where Camo was and when Durka started running, those steps would have been heard. But then I see Wayne leave the A site. I thought the information was there that this was a play towards A, but instead they're catching up. Herbo is forced back by that flash even. You can't hold that first angle. And it looks like Vitality have got a plan for free.
My.
He needs to be stopped. So much impact from Durka, and Yumpy gets ahead of the ult. Camo's on site, but so many players to deal with. Gorgeous work from Vitality.
2 crazy shots in a second, and I was worried about that ult combo, the dimensional drift and the convergence path, but they've dealt with it with flying colors. A chance for Wayne, but the lineup was just a little too much. And for Nats, it's another attempt at what looks like an impossible scenario, and while his old teammate waiting on the other side. After the pause, Vitality is straight back onto the board, and the half win already guaranteed.
Yeah, it was a really, really clean gameplay there. Now it's 7-2. What a strong
I don't even
lead.
think he was so fast, he didn't even need that flash. Like, there was no way Purple could have reacted to that.
That was unreal. But and add to that, though, the fact that we've seen that now, what, 3 times? That flash catching players completely off guard towards the spawn. It's the problem with having a Phoenix, man. If they get into those positions, there are some spots that the only way to avoid that flash, the only way to stop yourself from an early exit in the round is to not be there. And unfortunately, that's easier said than done. Dirk is running around the map with this. So 7-2, what's the response from Team Liquid?
It also might sound silly, but you just watch the way he throws those flashes. They're always coming a millimeter around the edge of the box. It's like,
you see it and it pops.
There's no way you can react unless you know it's coming. And when you're holding an Odin with an angle, That's difficult to do. Mini Boo, it's risky. It goes looking for info, and he has found it. Wasn't worth the cost.
Looked like he even could have seen him for a second there. Maybe the jump wasn't as wide as it needed to be. Being a bit too cautious and then not cautious enough.
Also just good trigger control on the other side.
Oh,
Like, if he
100%.
shoots a bullet and it clips the wall, Mini Boo's gone.
Take the info, get out of there, all good, but instead take the shot and, well, get out of there for the rest of the round. Another tight little corner for Camo, and it seems this is the big idea. When I don't like that gate crash position, but we'll see if he even gets a chance to take it. Yeah, I mean, if they push up to that corner, you're already going to be visible from there. Like, what? What were you thinking? Anyways, right, opening pick and another.
30 seconds left.
Cutting through.
25 seconds. That's the hope. This time Nat's in the right place at the right time. He's got the flashes, and that gives him a chance. Somehow, Durka managed to stay alive. I thought he was dead for sure with the spam, and he's also been caught by the edge of the pulse. It means he can't deny the plan. He can't deny anything critical. Now on a different angle, still seems to sniff out Nat.
Yeah, you can find him no matter where he goes. And Liquid, well, they've had enough of that.
Not to replay the TP. Is that
no, we
is that,
cannot.
Is that a deal
no.
we can make?
I'm sorry,
I don't want to see
here's
that
the
again.
thing, Tom. Here's the thing. If he didn't know where the TP was, fair enough. But he looked at it, he threw it, and then he knew it was there for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Anyone on the team could have said, by the way, I probably wouldn't take. You could just walk back connector. It's safer. But hey, TP into that angle off of no contact and get exactly what you deserve.
Well, the funny thing as well is, even if there had been no one there, they might have swung off that sound with you then having to run back across mid.
Just don't put a gate crash. I can put it down their side of mid, I guess, or just in the open. Right click.
Yeah, but they wouldn't expect you to take that.
That's true.
TP.
Actually, the surprise element is better. You might end up behind them instead of right in front. Yeah, that was, I mean, gate crash of the year, I think.
This was a rough round. Like, losing a fight to, he just didn't see him on the jump.
That's a shame.
Or the second.
Oh,
that's
so unlucky.
rough. But then, yeah, this is mad. Hello. Yeah, I think around
Guys, give me ult, please! Please! Guys, I need ult, please! I'm behind you!
He does have his ult. Yeah, he did get it. They obliged. And, well, 8-2. Now it really is panic stations. This is a different look from the first pause of like, okay, we need to try and get like to 6-6. The best they can come out with is 4. And that round was, with no doubt, the worst of the lot. Like, that was somebody losing to a jiggle peak. Okay, a little bit unlucky. Someone TPing into the open. And then I feel like Nat's got a little bit unlucky not to kill Durka. But by that point, the round was already in turmoil. And they are in a rough, rough spot. Turning this around, going to be incredibly difficult. In that second half, sure, they've made a load of changes to the comp. I think having the double dive on attack is going to be a lot better for what they want to run. But you're also then looking at Vitality and going, okay, are you unable to get 4 or 5 rounds?
Yeah, I think the problem is so far, like, I really just need to see Liquid sharpen up a little bit. Like, I think back to the 2v2 where Purpo decides to use none of his utility, which, in case you don't know Valorant very well, is utility for finding information, while they were in a 2v2 with no information. They needed information, and they could have gotten it, and they didn't. And I think that those sort of synergy issues amplify massively in the last round that we just saw. And again, I don't fault Miniboo for what he did. I can't stop faulting Camo for what he did. And at that point, yeah, a pause is the only solution. You gotta go back, get a little reset, a little breather for the boys as they fight for these final 2 rounds. We wanted Liquid to have the lead at the half. Then we wanted a 6-6 because it had already gone a bit poorly. I like this, clearing out that tight corner. This is what was needed. Remember, Camo found a big round from that very spot not that long ago.
Just in the corner. He's also got his stun available as well, so if one is spotted, he can then slow them on the way out. Information searched for. Well, Chronicle has to flee. The rest of the team were hot on his heels, but after seeing as much util, as much thrown out as they have, of course, they've now swapped back to the other side.
Yeah, of course they have, but the read is there from Liquid. They saw some presence. They saw the chamber going back as well. And unless this is a fake from Vitality, this is being read. Liquid have rotated now 3 players towards this A site. Durka's going to be sent through, but that could find the information. He's taking down the traps at least. Molly's already good, but there's Miniboo spotted. And they know about the players towards the elbow, but it might be too late to go back now. So many bodies already on the floor. 3 players pushed in towards the site. A big battle brewing, and the whole squad here for the side of Liquid. A good reveal, and the shots land for Unfake too. Somehow, we're back to a 2v2. Vitality, they seem to even have time to get that plant. I love that from Unfake. He baits them with a plant and waits for his teammate then to know that he's secure. Playing it together, and now they've spotted Wayne too.
Oh, does that get both?
Yeah.
I think it might have done. They've had to fall back. Flank still coming in. And Unfake's connected another. The standard has just taken over the round. A man with lower expectations than maybe the superstar youngster, but that was a superstar round.
No, that was huge from Unfake, and I think not just the shots that he hit to get them back into this, the decision to bait out that plan, try to get a player to step forward. This was discipline. He wasn't losing his cool, and what a round, because they did not look like they were getting out of this situation. Even in this 1v1, I was getting a little bit nervous, but he plays it perfectly every step of the way.
Yeah, well, that was him basically in a 1v2 to have a chance to plant the spike. And he's able to isolate both fights, win them both, and then kill Wayne, and then close the round. Like, Unfake just taking over, and well, it's a full push-up of 3 players early. But once again, they go pushing into Nat's side. The start of the last round looked good, but dwindled. Well, the duelists have now just joined up back outside A. They avoided the initial push, and now they're saying, okay, well, if they push, they probably rotated.
Yeah, think about what they just saw last round. A bit of presence towards that B site, an immediate rotate coming out of Team Liquid. This time, they see a bit of presence towards that A site. What do you assume is going to happen? So they go back to the other side. They go back to A. Fight for this space, at least put the pressure on there. But the spike is still waiting down in mid. Chamber's still trying to fight for space on B. I mean, I don't blame Liquid for not having a stack anywhere, because what is going on from their perspective? They're seeing presence. It was a drone up mid too. They saw presence across the map. And what this has left them with is the Yoru with the quick rotate on B, ready to go to A. This B side is under a lot of threat, but again, the thing that will help them, hopefully, is Nats' setup. This is a round that, and we talked about Liquid needing to win this half. They're fighting for 9-3. And that's the setup gone.
Yeah, and he hit another player in the back of the spawn as well. It leaves Kama with everything to do, and it has not been his day. No! He's swapping guns. He can't get you on. He doesn't even have a gun in his hand. Oh, and they know where Purpo is. Double peek to go. Oh, okay, I didn't expect him to come out with 2 there. It doesn't matter though. In fact, it's meaningless. 10-2. An utterly dominant first half coming out from Vitality, and while Team Liquid have so much to fix.
Your body knows. A sense of victory. Seized when mind, movement, and gear ignite as one. Now, step into your zone. Designed to win.
Come easy, but this double swing should be difficult to do.
The EMEA season kicks off at full throttle in 2026. Right after the conclusion of VCT EMEA Kickoff and before the start of Masters Santiago, a brand new competition enters the arena, VALORANT EMEA Clash. With 3 VCT EMEA slots on the line for Masters Santiago, 6 of the remaining 9 teams will earn a chance to battle the best teams from the Challengers regions. VALORANT EMEA Clash features 2 interconnected double elimination brackets, Alpha and Omega. Each of these brackets will then crown its own champion. The top 4 teams from VCT EMEA Kickoff will be seeded directly into the second round of these brackets, receiving a bye, and the remaining 2 VCT teams will join 6 Challengers teams in a shared pool. From there, a fully randomized draw will determine placements, with one rule only: the 2 VCT teams cannot land in the same bracket. Starting from round 2, a loss in the upper bracket of Alpha sends a team into the lower bracket of Omega, and vice versa. Every defeat reshapes the battlefield, forcing teams to clash across the 2 worlds as the tournament progresses. As the event unfolds, Alpha and Omega will continue to intertwine at every stage, keeping both teams and fans on edge. Are you ready for Clash? Tune in February 19th to the 25th and support your favorite team as 2 worlds collide for the very first time.
And welcome back, folks. It has been a well, let's say dominant first half.
Hasn't been much of a
one
clash,
of the teams.
that's all I'll say.
Not much of a battle indeed down on that stage. An execution with Vitality swinging the axe in almost every round. Team Liquid 8 rounds behind. Hell, the vibes look good down on that stage, and maybe it's because their map picks up next. I think Corrode, well, a pistol will very much decide whether it's too far gone. But even then, quite a journey back.
Well, yeah, not to put a dampener on the mood of the comeback, but this is both teams going into... well, no, sorry. This is Vitality going into their favored side and Liquid going into their less favored side. So, if anything, the writing is on the wall. This should be a quick one, but you never know with Liquid. They always like defying the odds. That is something we've always loved about any team with Nats in it. Now they look to enter straight in towards this B side. A couple of players holding the line, but Prophet has been dealt with.
Yeah, as you said, Nats always a player known for finding those results from behind.
But BS.
Yeah, behind by in the scoreline isn't normally what we mean. A chance here for Yumpy to even numbers, but he's taken down right after Liquid. Keeping these fights together, that's what we need to see. Nats is tagged up low, but his cam's covering their back. So much info in their hands, thanks to him. And Durka's got players on either side. Here's the reload up top, goes for the fight, but the swing should be there any moment.
And nice dodge.
It did come in from Wayne, but Camo had already landed the kill. Nicely done by Team Liquid. A pistol round found, and the climb back, well, I guess it starts here.
Yeah. An integral pistol round. I do think this is the side of the map that will have been the focus of their changes. Like, you bring in that double dive, you bring in the opportunity for Miniboo and Camo to play off of each other. And although Camo started incredibly slow, he has been getting his way back into the game. The rest will be about leaving space for Nats, which again, I think has been something when you look back to their bind, for example. He was able to get a lot of backstabs and cause a lot of problems, something he's a master of on that Cypher. So there are positives of what this comp change can bring. There's just very little room for error now.
Well, a fourth almost assuredly to follow. Only one bandit invested into for Vitality, the rest on classics. And well, I think they might have an idea where Durka is after that molly goes down. Gonna avoid that corner completely, a spot the Purple found a lot of success from. And no doubt they'll be wary of in their anti-eco. And somehow, Durka has won a heads-up duel against Camo.
Through someone as well.
Yeah.
He headshot him through him with a classic.
Okay, trade's at least instantaneous. That's what we needed, but we're on even numbers. And yeah, okay, Vitality winning this round doesn't look very likely. But the question of damage, very much valid.
Yeah, you still have Headhunter available for Chronicles, so that's at least one weapon that will be able to drop a gun.
See the Bulldog there to be recovered as well.
It's just whether they want to actually go for that level of damage. Oh, the second they cross in, it's the opportunity for Purple. You can see Prophet is just trying to bait him into a heads-up fight. Okay, that was a little bit too close. I don't think the time was gone anyway.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't think you should lose 2 players there.
It's not a great sign when you need that comeback. You really want it to be convincing and not Camo whiffing against the guy crouched with a classic. And then, I mean, the trade. I can't fault the trade. And the Headhunter is, well, it's a one-of-a-kind weapon, really, isn't it? 2 shots out of that, though, and that's a big blow dealt. Good pickup for Vitality. 10-4 scoreline to Liquid. They found the first 2, but here is the full buy of Vitality. And let's see if they can hold off against this. I'm already seeing aggression as well. Being lined up, that smoke might have changed things.
Liquid are going for it. Like, look at the credits. Like, there's only going to be 2 players that are able to buy into the next round. They are not playing this as a bonus. They are playing it as a full buy. So if they lose this round, that genuinely might be game over. There might not be a proper buy for them for the rest of the map.
That's kind of crazy as well. The full buy, the full invest, and they end up with a stinger in the mix.
This scoreline, you kind of have to go for it.
I agree, yeah. You got to bet on yourself in this one. Now the attempt to drag rotations towards the B side, they've already gotten the Blaze out of Phoenix, and a bit of a reaction. But then everything freezes. Vitality should see soon that the hit isn't coming their way. They still have a reveal. There's one ready to roll. I think Unfake's keeping it for when the push comes in, but eventually, you're gonna want to fire that through. It's actually the drone that's sent in. So now the timer's ticking. Very soon, Vitality will realize nobody's here. They'll send the rotates. In fact, they're already coming through. The Astra utility will start to be focused towards this site. And it looks like Liquid have pushed before the rotates come in. But if they're delayed, if they're slowed here, this push could fall flat completely, and they're being picked, they're being damaged. Nat's down to 40 already.
Yeah, Yumpy's done his job, and the rest of the team are already here. They're ready and waiting. Dart flash, nice counter though. Nats just hitting every shot. He's given them a lifeline, given them a chance, but needs someone to step up alongside him. Was close, but it wasn't enough. Perfect takes the round, and more importantly, maybe the map. That is economy in the bin, and what we will see as a buy is going to be rough for Liquid.
Yeah, a huge round. And again, I think so much of that comes down to the timing. It just took Liquid that little bit too long. When they come to push into the site, you've still got that utility to deal with. But most importantly, you've got the rotates coming through from that B side. When they put boots on the ground, when they tried to plant the spike, there are 4 players, all 4 remaining, coming through that barrier and spawn, breaking through that choke point, and Liquid weren't ready for that. Good read by Vitality. The drone from Unfake really turning the tide in their favor towards that B side.
Camo's almost dead.
Yeah, Camo's not having a good time to start this one, and look at the equipment that they bring in.
Right.
Wow.
Well, that's the spike down.
Well, he's just got 3 bursts, 1 to the body, 1 to the leg, 1 to the head.
Control.
Nice stuff.
Okay, it's been given up now. They have the advantage, but Chronicle was pushed all the way up on A. That's a decent trade back, though. And in fact, that gives them weaponry. That's far more important than a pick than maybe realized. This is scary, though. Again, you have this 1-2 punch. That's waiting on the other side, but it's the flank from Miniboo. Is the main talking point. They've spotted out Wayne, but they still don't know where that snake in the grass is. And now he looks to strike, stunned up his Durka, and he does win both. Integral from Miniboo.
Spike planted.
And a chance at a round that looked almost done from the beginning.
Even for the recovery of this series here for Liquid, because it is so far gone, but every round here helps, and this has to be one that they take. A 3 versus 2, time now on their side.
Yeah. Look at the positions as well.
Yeah, this is it. You have to pick them all off. And that relies on them giving fights, which Camo just did, but he wins it. And now Chronicle should have an impossible task. He gets in and taps the first. The problem, someone has to peek. There's no longer someone up in heaven to confirm that he's not diffusing, but Chronicle misses the window. Doesn't catch the kill. They know it's not half, and off time alone, this one should be sorted. Another for Liquid, a 6-round gap though to make up.
Yeah, both duelists in this round having high impact. I think especially Miniboo being able to take that space, go in behind and clear out both players on the A side. It's an oversight from Vitality of how far and how much space have been taken away from them. And just smart in the way he took the duel. Like, gives himself an advantage in both cases. And then Camo is there to close the round. Puts them up to 5. And more importantly, after killing 4 off in the last round, it sets Vitality on a path where they don't have any finances. Now, what they are going to do is potentially try and get the Tour de Force in play for Chronicle, but it leaves the A site barren.
Yeah, in this round, it's not a bad idea, though, right? That gamble to play your 5. Tour de Force or Hunter's Fury available for Vitality. And probably both available by the time this round is over if they do throw themselves at it. And especially when you look at Liquid right now, what are you worried about giving them? The Cypher or an Omen ult? No. You take the orbs here, I think. Well, certainly on the 2 players that want them. And Profec, why not?
Oh. It's a good chance for Liquid to really make some bank. That's been the issue even with this half so far, is that they've been taking a lot of casualties. They got the boost from the last round, winning with weaker weapons. And now they have a chance to at least keep it somewhat clean. But I'm looking at Chronicle still alive, and maybe that chance would... Okay! That's got to be the fastest 3K ever. Profec's going to get his ultimate online in more ways than one. A couple of guns lost, but maybe a few confidence kills gained. It will be a 6th round for Liquid, 5 behind. And now this is where things are going to get very interesting, because we almost have every ult online.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, for Vitality, right? Like, if Liquid come through and use ults, you also have the choice, because of that big round lead, to go, okay, cool. I'll trade out your ultimates for this round, and we'll come back and win the next one. So for Liquid, it's all about when you use them. Choosing, trading those ults out for taking the economy away from Vitality, for example, in this round where winning would actually put Vitality in a bad spot. allow you to make that climb back. But the problem is always, if Vitality treat these ults like a bingo card and tick them all off, you could have a round coming your way, and not many needed. Already, Hunter's Fury is going to be fired through, but a big pace taken as Camo tries to invade that backside, but he's being pushed. Big stun active, and the shots land with Profect down, but Durka and Unfake, they stand by, ready to take every battle. And Liquid will be denied ground on the B site. They move back to mid, thinking it might be easier, but no, that task just as hard as the other, with a double from Chronicle. 12-6. 6 opportunities for Vitality to close their map.
Yeah, that was a masterclass of how to use ultimates effectively. Immediate use of the Dimensional Drift gets them info. Hunter's Fury gets them an opening pick, gives space for Chronicle to push up and lock them in. It was the one play that if Liquid made, it was an automatic win. And I don't mind their reaction. Like the immediate try to, okay, we can't go back. We have to go forward. We have to try and fight. I don't think Liquid do bad in that scenario, but you walked into the trap. There was no way out.
Exactly. Yeah, from the barriers going up, that round was done if Vitality hit the big red button, and they did. 6 chances to close it out. Liquid having to fight back. Already the Nightfall's put through, and it's caught one at least, sending them back, but Durka activates the ult. He's being dealt with at least to start. Profect, though, finds the valuable pick. That's the man advantage, and Miniboo has to hunt him down. But up in heaven, Profect's already repositioned, and he's waiting for that retake coming through from mid. The presence here from Liquid towards spawn completely denied any impact. That flash was huge, but now he's out of them. And those 3 players on backside looking to brawl. Miniboo leading the charge, Camo by his side for 2, and the round seems to be tidied up as a result. But Profect still breathing up top will buy them a chance, an opportunity if he can find the shot amongst the chaos. But look how patient they're being, hiding behind cover, not giving him a shot, and then as he jumps out of heaven, he finds himself in hell. Very nicely done.
Yeah, again, I think solid, just overall team synergy from Liquid on their execute.
Which was missing in the first half.
Yeah, I think obviously the start wasn't fantastic, but it's then just the response, like to both get aggressive together. I mentioned this when doing the post-farm with Miniboo. It's like, it feels like him and Camo, when they are side by side on the duelist, just have good synergy. Like they seem to work off each other very well. One takes the first fight, the next is on the swing while the other person's trying to react. Like that's nice to see for a team that is only been together for weeks. In fact, if you include Wayne, has literally not even been since the beginning of this tournament.
Well, I like the idea that they go 3 players towards the spawn to hunt down Profect, and then they go, okay, we're not going to catch him. Let's cancel this. Let's find a plan B, and they go back and take that fight and con together. That's exactly what they needed to do. One of those players goes, oh, I'll keep the spawn control or something, and now the round falls apart. They played together, singing from the same hymn sheet. That's what you need. 5 more rounds, though. It's got to be so consistent without a single slip up. Profect, he's just revealed himself. That's going to be him done, surely, and there it is. A big put down.
Yeah, Miniboo. On time. You can see the Liquid squad are starting to heat up a little. And the decision, it almost has to be made from Vitality to just give this one up. Your economy is on the line, the weapons are fading. You no longer have the ults to pad the gap and have those cheesy rounds. And I will say it's almost a little bit of a shame that Liquid didn't start out on this attack side, because they really are looking good right now.
That's it, right? Just to get the ball rolling for them, because if this ended 13-4, it's not about the scoreline, right? It's about the rounds that Liquid got. The fact that the rounds they lost weren't incredibly close or anything like that. I would not have very much confidence in the recovery of Liquid, but now we've started to see them play the game. Instead of winning a round here or there, they're playing as a team. That was missing in the first half, and I'm glad they've at least gotten to use this half as a bit of runway to get up to speed. But it's not lost yet. Now the task is 4 in a row, and that seems much more palatable than what they were faced with just moments ago.
Yeah, same as before though. I think it was 6-2 the last pause, almost the exact same moment, 4 rounds the difference, and Vitality have decided to take themselves a pause, not wanting to let this map slip away from them. And it's understandable. This is elimination on the line. This is a matchup that, well, when you talk about these two teams, it does actually go fairly heavily in Vitality's favor, which when you consider this Liquid squad has always been the one to make it to the events. You'd maybe expect it to be the other way around, but no. It is 3 in a row, obviously over a few years here and there, and one of them including this year, but with Liquid, you never know. I think you can look at the odds, you can look at the rounds, you can look at the numbers that sit against them and go, There's something about Liquid in a lower bracket when they need to win 5 games in a row that I have a much higher belief they'll do it than anyone else.
Yeah, this Liquid, like Nats on Liquid, it's been very interesting to see him growing.
Even the old Liquid would like scream 1 LCQ each
That's
time.
true,
Like,
yeah,
it's
you're
just
right,
Liquid.
actually.
They go like, we suck at the beginning, and now we're good, and no one knows
I forgot
why.
about that old team. Yeah, you're very right.
It's weird.
It's carried over. Well, 4 rounds left to play for. Vitality only needing 1. And the thing is, with 4, let's do the math. There's 4 orbs needed for Durka. If he gets 1 kill, he'll have his ult by the time we get to the end. Like, having a Phoenix on this map, it's so much fun to play. Because you get these sort of 6th men online for so many of your rounds. And when you've got an extra Durka, that really does just correlate with round wins, maps under your belt.
3.
Well, 1:30 on the clock, and I'm curious to see Liquid after that pause from Vitality. You will often expect aggression. You'll sit back, you'll wait. And that's kind of what they're doing towards B and mid, forcing the issue on A just to get the orb. I mean, you have to have some control early on. But they're clearly expecting an idea here from Vitality. So far, we're not seeing that take the form of any aggression, at least.
It also plays into what you mentioned a moment ago. It's like, their idea probably is that they want to get Durka an ult. Let's not allow him to get the ult. Let's claim all the orbs. Because even if it's like, okay, we think they're going that way, look, then you see them take that control and fight for it back. But at least he's not getting something for free anymore.
Steps are going back now, leaving that A main. Orb's still not taken, and the decoy is going to be put down. We saw that a little while ago. I thought it was for fake steps to drag the rotates to the A site, but in fact, decoy sent through as numbers are shifting to this side of the map. I think it will be a late A hit, but that, well, it looked like for a moment it would almost pull Profect to rotate back over, especially with pistols, but the gamble's being called from Vitality. They take B, they push up, and now the info's there. The road, Tom, Liquid were late before, and somehow in this round they're late again.
Yeah,
15 seconds, 4 players from Vitality will be here.
Durka in position, gonna try and give himself a pocket of space. They dived into the angle, and they've not checked him, they've not found him. They're running out of time.